can we just start with Sinner and
good call.
and just
that's good.
Yeah.
Level set there.
Yeah. So we're watching in our hotel in London. We're flying back tomorrow. One, Grigor was just completely outplaying Jannik, and there's just no chance that Jannik would tell you anything differently. One of the things about this surface is you can neutralize power with a slice. It reminded me of Roger on this surface, where it's not slicing on defense. It's not slicing it. It's like a weapon. And Grigor, this might be the last surface where it actually works as effectively as it was. When Grigor Dimitrov is landing first serves at a high clip, he's very hard to beat. A lot of his results are directly linked to his first serve percentage and whether or not he's having to defend his second serve, which basically means, is he hitting that first ball in the front foot where he can hit that chip, get in, run around a forehand, distribute, or is someone able to take second serves and pound that backhand side early, right? That's overly simplistic, but it plays a massive part in anything Dimitrov does. One of the most well-liked guys on tour, one of the most respected. I haven't seen the other side of it, but has a reputation as an incredibly professional, hard worker. I think that's why you're seeing the reaction. We've seen a lot of people get hurt before. One, you don't see it when they're 2 sets up a lot. But we were on a text, and he kind of started, and then he hit. I go, guys, this is over. Like that was instant, and you can't hide from like a pectoral muscle on a serve. You literally, when you reach back, you kind of have to let it rip from there. But listen, he's not young anymore, right? He's had to retire in the last 5 Grand Slams, and he does not have a reputation for being, quick to shake hands at all. And it was just heartbreaking for many reasons. One, the opportunity of not getting to finish off the world number 1 on the greatest court in all of tennis and the greatest venue in all of sports, right? Like, he's at the point where he wants that last big moment. And 2, it's probably a torn pec. This is me playing doctor, and I'm not. Best case scenario, it's a pull. Worst case, it's a tear. That's not a quick thing to get over, right? Like, that's not something that you can hide from as a tennis player. You could see it on his face. I guarantee, the last time I played Wimbledon, I didn't know if I was going to retire. I didn't know if I'd be back, but it crossed my mind for the first time I was walking off, and no one else knew this, and I didn't get hurt. But like, I guarantee you that's a thought for him. This is a bad injury. I've been going through a bad run of injuries. Will I be back here? Or is this the way my Wimbledon story ends?
Especially the context. As you say, he was a few games away from one of the real signature wins of his career. Playing great, big opportunity, 5 straight majors where his body's let him down. I'll give you, ironically enough, the last player to beat him outright at a major was Jannik Sinner. I don't know if you guys did a little part of your minds go to Novak Djokovic as well?
No, I went to Ben. I went to Shelton first, but no.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
well, we were talking before about how Novak needed some help from the draw gods that would help him along, and suddenly you think you might have Sinner eliminated, and suddenly not only is Sinner not eliminated, but he didn't have to go through the emotional and physical grind of coming back and winning a 5-setter. I mean, that was just, that tournament really had a pivot point moment about half an hour ago.
Well, listen, you don't want to. What I don't want to do is kind of maybe overanalyze from here on out, when I think the main thing is Dimitrov, and also we have a responsibility. The whole point of the redraw show is to eventually project forward to the rest of the tournament, right? And so this isn't us glossing over and not being sympathetic to Dimitrov. I mean, I don't think anyone who has a heartbeat didn't feel for him in a massive way in that moment. And my mind went to a million places, right? It's like, oh, okay, maybe this is the last, like maybe this is the thing that starts my last run. Maybe I can get back to the top 5. Maybe I can I've never made a Grand Slam final. Maybe this is the time where I can do all of these things. And then just like that, one serve, the mind goes, will I play here again? And maybe that's hyperbolic. Maybe that's part of the moment. But is there a 2% chance that can cause emotion? right? That's a big thing. I'm not saying he's never going to play there again. I'm saying that thought crosses his mind. That's what you see. The emotion when he was crying, the crowd support, the love, all of that wraps itself into there's no teammate to lean on. And by the way, Jannik Sinner, 12 out of 10.
Yeah, how about Sinner?
I mean,
exactly.
Going over to the other side, almost like where I was listening to the British broadcast and Tim Henman was like, well, is it weird that Sinner's listening to like the diagnosis of this thing? But at that point, I mean, I texted you guys. I said, I was quick. I'm like, this thing's over. Like that flinch when he's looking at it and he kind of hacked that volley and then he went back and he was playing. And then that first serve, I'm like, we're going to know here. As soon as he hits the serve, we're going to know. And, unfortunately we knew that it was curtains, but it just sucks. Grigor
all around.
Well, he just does right by everyone.
Right.
He doesn't really have any enemies. I hope he gets better. I hope it's better than it looked. It looked like a tear of a pectoral muscle, which
I also heard, I heard sort of Roger gave him a bit of an an off-season pep talk I heard in the Middle East. So Roger there's so many elements to this. And I also think, I'm glad you brought up Sinner too. I mean, there are a lot of moments that athletes can prepare for in their press releases or someone whispers in their ear that this was completely impromptu. This is probably the last thing Jannik Sinner ever expected to be dealing with about 30 seconds before it happened. That was just impromptu goodness. You really saw someone sort of mentioned them, some humanity. But that was a rough watch in so many ways. Grigor's sort of reputation, he deserves better than this. Just being one part of it. Anyway.
Sports doesn't care about sports doesn't care about how you've done it. It's like your body is going to do what it does. One of the other things, like the minor details, which is something we like to talk about, is BBC interviewed Sinner, and he basically said what he said. He's like, I didn't win that. This is like, he's like, I don't deserve any. My heart goes to Grigor. That's the only thing I care about. He answered one question and didn't wait. And he was brilliant because he kind of you could see him on the away camera on BBC. They never just ask one question. Like, if anything, those interviews go on for too long. It's 4 or 5 questions after a match. Like, it's kind of, you're repeating the same things. He answered it and casually walked around off mic, and the interviewer stands 10 feet away, and you could see as soon as he walked, they panned out, and he walked up to the interviewer. I'm sure he said, I'm not going to answer more questions, but shook their hand and was basically like, that's, in a classy way, is like, there's nothing else to talk about here tonight. But listen, that's sports. It's equally inspiring. It's equally worthy of celebration, and it rips your heart out sometimes, and it's unfair. But those are all the reasons why we watch it. It causes emotion in the best ways, the worst ways. But here we are.